see behind the mask. But here's the thing about masks: wear them too long, and they start to grow roots, twisting and merging with the face underneath. Now, as they look in the mirror, they can't even recognize themselves. They've become their own worst nightmare. It's almost tragic, isn't it? They hurt others to feel strong, to feel powerful. But now, as the pieces start to fall, they're the ones left scrambling, terrified of the monster they created. They played their hand too many times, and now there's no one left to fool, no one left to control. People see them for what they truly are: a hollow shell, full of insecurities and broken promises. Their empire of manipulation is crumbling, and they're left to watch it collapse brick by brick. They once believed they were untouchable, that they could twist the truth, distort reality, and no one would be the wiser. But now reality is pushing back, and it's a cruel, relentless force. Every lie they told, every story they spun is unraveling. And as they try to keep the facade intact, they're left stumbling in the ruins of their own deceit. What a delicious irony, wouldn't you say? They're trapped in a game they thought they'd mastered, a game they now realize they were never truly in control of. Oh, how they used to revel in their power, didn't they? They'd watch as people fell into their traps, ensnared by false promises and empty words. They enjoyed every second of it, the thrill of seeing someone else dance to their tune. But now, the tables have turned. Every pawn they used is reclaiming its power. Every person they dismissed is moving on, and they're left standing alone, watching the life they built on lies slip through their fingers. The emptiness is setting in, and it's terrifying. They thought they could just walk away, move on as if nothing happened, as if the people they toyed with were mere footnotes in their story. But people remember. Memories don't just disappear, and neither do consequences. They're haunted by the faces of those they hurt, the lives they disrupted for a fleeting sense of superiority. They wanted control, but in the end, all they have is regret. A life built on manipulation isn't a life at all. It's a slow descent into emptiness, a hollow victory that leaves them alone in the dark. And now, in the quiet moments, when there's no one left to impress, no one left to fool, they're faced with the truth they've been running from. Every game they played, every person they used, it all comes rushing back in a wave of regret they can't outrun. They tried to be invincible, untouchable, but they're human after all, vulnerable to the same emotions they tried to deny. And those emotions? They're coming for them with a vengeance, whispering truths they can't ignore. They wanted others to suffer, to feel the pain of rejection, the sting of abandonment. But now, they're the ones haunted by it all. Every tear they caused, every heart they broke, it's all coming back, reflecting their actions like a mirror they can't break. They tried to make others feel small, but in the end they've shrunk themselves, hiding behind a mask that grows heavier with every lie. The weight of their own games is crushing them, suffocating them in a silence they can't escape. There's a strange irony, isn't there? They once prided themselves on being the puppet master, the one pulling the strings, making everyone dance to their tune. But now, they're tangled in those very strings, trapped in a web of their own making. They can try to run, but they can't hide from the truth that they've lost control, that the games they played have turned against them. And as they struggle to break free, they're faced with the realization that they were never in control at all. You see, the people they used, the ones they tossed aside like pawns, they've moved on. They found peace, strength, and resilience in the face of everything they endured. But them, they're left with nothing but memories and regrets, haunted by the ghosts of their own actions. They thought they'd come out victorious, but victory doesn't feel so sweet when you're the only one left standing, surrounded by the wreckage of the people you hurt. They used to laugh at the idea of karma, dismiss it as a fairy tale for the weak, a story to comfort the naive. But now, karma's knocking, and it's not a gentle tap. It's a relentless, pounding force that demands accountability. Every move they made, every game they played, it's all catching up to them, and there's nowhere left to hide. They're trapped in a nightmare of their own making, haunted by the choices they thought they'd never have to answer for. They thought they could bury the truth, cover it up with charm and charisma. But the truth has a way of surfacing, doesn't it? It seeps into every crevice, every crack, until it's impossible to ignore. And now, as they look around, they realize they're standing in a world they don't recognize, a world they shaped with lies and deceit. They've become a stranger in their own life, haunted by the reality they tried so hard to avoid. And that's the beauty of it all. The people they hurt, the ones they thought they'd left broken, they're thriving. They found strength in their pain, resilience in their scars. But them, they're left with nothing but the weight of their own actions, the knowledge that they built a life on lies. They tried to play the hero in their own story, but they've become the villain, a role they never expected, a truth they can't escape. It's almost tragic, isn't it? They spent so much time crafting an image, building a persona they thought would make them invincible. But now they're staring at a stranger in the mirror, someone they don't recognize. Every lie they told, every game they played, it's all coming back, demanding to be acknowledged. And as they try to piece together what's left, they realize they've lost the one thing they were trying to protect, their own sense of self. They wanted power, control, the thrill of being the one in charge. But real power isn't in manipulation, in games, in deceit. Real power is in honesty, in vulnerability, in connection. And now, as they stand in the ruins of their own creation, they're faced with the harsh truth that they never had power at all. They were just hiding, running from their own insecurities, trying to fill a void that no amount of games could ever satisfy. So let them wrestle with their own ghosts. Let them feel the weight of every decision, every game, every person they hurt, because the only person they truly played in the end was themselves. And that realization, it's a truth they can't run from, a haunting that will follow them wherever they go. The games are over, the masks are off, and all that's left is the empty shell of someone who thought they could escape the consequences of their own actions. Let them live with that. Let them walk through life with the weight of their choices hanging over them. Because while they tried to break others, they only broke themselves. The games they played turned back on them. A lesson they'll carry forever. A truth that will echo in every empty moment. They're haunted by their own reflection. A reminder that in the end, the only person they ever truly hurt was themselves. They wanted to believe they were untouchable, that their actions wouldn't follow them. But the reality is, every move leaves a footprint, a trace, a reminder that lingers. They convinced themselves they were too clever, too quick for karma to catch up. Yet here they are, feeling the chill of their own misdeeds. It isn't a grand punishment from the universe, no, it's subtler, like a whisper in their ear that they can't ignore. Every time they think they've shaken,
Message to home wrecking manipulators.
The damage they caused.
Fuck you all.
The real punishment
Have a
is
great
knowing they're
day,
the only one left
people.
suffering in the aftermath.